break. Pep Guardiola and Andone Iraola happy enough as we go again, and it's Mateo Kovacic with the kickoff. Ederson goes long, looking for Haaland. Nice touch there from Haaland to gain some territory for City. Foden immediately on possession, tries to slip that one through for Haaland, and Marco Senesi will step across and clear. We can quickly run through the teams. As I mentioned, no substitutions. So for Bournemouth, it's Neto in goal, Adam Smith, Ilyas Zabrani, Marco Senesi and Milos Kerkez in defence. Ryan Christie, Lewis Cook, Antoine Semenyo, Justin Kluivert and Marcus Tavernier in midfield, with Dominic Solanke ploughing the lone furrow up front. There's just an issue on the sidelines here. Jared Gile calling for a break in play. Ruben Diaz has gone over to speak to Pep Guardiola. That's a couple of painkillers, I think, given to the Manchester City captain there. And as for City, Ederson in goal, John Stones, Ruben Diaz and Nathan Ake in defence, Manuel Akanji and Rodri paired in defensive midfield, and a front five of Bernardo Silva, Matheus Nunes, Mateo Kovacic, Phil Foden and Erling Haaland. Here is John Stones. It's been a floating presence for Man City so far in this one, John Stones. There's Kovacic looking to drive forward and cause some problems for the Bournemouth defence, but that's well defended. The loose ball finds its way up to halfway, and the switch from right to left was only half cut out by Bernardo Silva. Eventually finds its way to Tavernier. Just steers that one into the box to Solanke. He was forced out to the left hand side to Kerkez. Now Christie. Nice little link up there down the left hand side for Bournemouth, but they're forced in field now. Played into feet. It's helped on. The Bournemouth players just waiting for the offside flag there against Kerkez, and it eventually comes. This clash on the South Coast, not the only Premier League action available on Flashscore UK tonight. The 8 PM UK kickoff between Arsenal and Newcastle at the Emirates Stadium. As it stands, of course, Manchester City closing the title gap to a single point in behind Liverpool. If Arsenal can win against the Magpies, they will move to within 2 points of Jurgen Klopp's side, 1 point behind City. It's given away on halfway by Kerkez. Kovacic picks it up. Here's Akanji. Steers that one into the feet of Phil Foden, who wriggles away from a couple of tackles, tried to find John Stones on the edge of the box, but Bournemouth get back in numbers and clear. Ake immediately just rebounds that one back to Nunes. Kovacic. Pattern of play in the opening 5 minutes of the second half, a mirror of the first period. Manchester City dominating possession, Bournemouth looking to break when ready. Akanji just turned back on himself there to keep possession for City. Still blocked off down the City right, and Bournemouth turn over possession. Here's Solanke dropping deep, but he's held off by Kovacic. Finds Smith. Solanke needs to get himself back into an advanced position as Bournemouth try and maintain possession here. It's a long sweeping ball played forward for Semenyo, keeps it alive. To get a run at Diaz here, Semenyo. He's been probably Bournemouth's biggest threat so far this evening, Antoine Semenyo. See Dominic Solanke grabbing all the headlines with his 14 Premier League goals. Semenyo is the closest behind him, 4. Scored in the 2-2 Premier League draw against Newcastle last weekend. The Cherries were unfortunate in that one. Added time equalising penalty from their former winger Matt Ritchie, meaning there was to be no draw on Tyneside. 3 draws from the last 4 games is not a positive for Iraola. Here's Semenyo again, just steps away from Rodri as he drifts infield. Feeds that over to the left-hand side to Tavernier. Kirkes on the overlap, crosses. Deflected behind. I think, is that a corner for Bournemouth or... No, I think it went straight out of play from Kirkes. Semenyo again at the heart of it for Bournemouth though. Kirkes just stormed past Tavernier. Kanji got across him, but he didn't get a touch on the ball. Kirkes rather rushed that opportunity. He was trying to stand it up for Solanke. Ederson aims for Haaland. Loses out to Sensini. Cook will win that one for Christie. Good play this from Bournemouth. Now Justin Kluivert popping up in the number 10 role for Bournemouth, and he'll strike that one. An awkward one for Ederson to hold, but he does his job. He's dipping and swerving in front of the Manchester City goalkeeper. There's little on for Justin Kluivert there, and he saw a little gap just the other side of John Stones. Just gives something for Ederson to think about. Here is Ederson again. Again he goes up towards Haaland. Haaland wins the battle with Senesi this time. Finds Silva. And Haaland on the return ball. Haaland's away here and behind. Barrels past Zabrani. Was blocked behind eventually. Great strength there from Haaland. We saw him bully his way past Jared Branthwaite against Everton a few weeks ago. He was fortunate against Christoph Ayer in midweek, but he was brute strength there against Zabrani. Credit to the Bournemouth centre-back. He dashed back into position to block him off and concede the corner. Hung into the box by Silva, helped on and behind. The referee signalled a corner there. Diaz got the header, but the final touch was off a Bournemouth player. And Matthias Nunez will come over to take this one. Nunez towards the far post this time, but Neto was bundled over there. He got 2 hands on it initially. He was claiming for a foul. Bournemouth do deal with it eventually, but Kluivert gives it away to Nunez. Smith storms back to win it from Akanji, but Akanji just palms him off. Kovacic, Ake. City camped inside the Bournemouth half. Here's Akanji looking to step forward from left back. He feeds it into the box to Foden. Foden's ball across goes all the way to Silva. And a corner ball to Manchester City. The champions looking to turn up the tempo here now. Great weight on the pass there from Akanji to release Foden in down the left-hand side. There's nobody in the middle of the box. Haaland had peeled away. Silva wins the corner. It'll be Foden to take over on the Manchester City right. Foden goes to the near post this time, headed away by Kirkes. Diaz wins the second ball and it'll bounce through to Kovacic. He'll hoist that one back into the Bournemouth box, but it's dealt with initially by Solanke, but Foden picks up the loose ball. Now Silva, hassled by Christie as he goes to the byline. Cross eventually bounces through for Neto. Haaland tried to challenge him, but brave goalkeeper from the Bournemouth skipper. The Cherries will come forward now with Smith. Semenyo. City looking to double up on Semenyo now when he's in possession. Kovacic getting back to help Ake. Semenyo will get the run on Ake and is away down the right here if he can find a ball into the box. It is, and he's cleared away by Ruben Diaz. Tavernier couldn't get a clean contact on that one. Bournemouth's best chance of the night. Semenyo left Nathan Ake trailing in his wake there. Solanke couldn't get there. Tavernier storming in at the far post, just fluffed his lines, and Manchester City survive. Bournemouth know chances will be at a premium this evening. 55 minutes on the clock, that's the closest they've come. Tavernier couldn't find the touch. Here comes City now. Stones striding forward through the middle of the pitch, just flicks that to the left to Nunez. He's held up by Smith. Squared across the edge of the 18-yard box to Silva. Haaland rolls that one back to Rodri, but he's blocked off by Solanke. Haaland tried to break in on the reverse ball, but it's going to be a goal kick to Bournemouth. Just been shown a replay of that opportunity for Tavernier. Fantastic stuff from Antoine Semenyo down the right-hand side. Ake did slip, but the speed of Semenyo created the opportunity. Good ball across the face. Solanke wasn't able to get his way past Nunez. Tavernier was in front of Akanji at the far post. He could not make the most of it. Can Bournemouth build on this? City with the throw now. Foden comes across to this near left-hand side with Nathan Ake. Back to Foden now, the Manchester City goal scorer here at the Vitality. Nunez, Kovacic. City just keeping possession down this left-hand side. Now Nunez looking to get a run at Smith, but he's forced infield. Sprayed back out to Kovacic. Nice ball there to try and cut through Bournemouth, but it's defended well. Kovacic will try and recycle that with Rodri. No sign of any substitutions just yet from Pep Guardiola or Andoni Iraola. Options on the bench for both managers should they wish to freshen things up. Dango Ouattara, Alex Scott, Luis Sinisterra will be possible moves for Iraola. A nice neat ball forward from Ryan Christie. Tavernier will release Kerkez on the overlap. He's raided forward down that left-hand side for Bournemouth. Back now with Tavernier. Christie. Screened off there by Matthias Nunez and Rodri. This is Bournemouth's best spell of the game. A chance for Tavernier. Be an obvious point of frustration for Iraola, but they're beginning to grow into the contest. Manchester City are perfectly capable of springing and killing the match off, but as long as it remains as it is, Bournemouth will have hope. That long ball forward aimed at Kerkez and hooked out of play by Akanji. Quick throw in. Tavernier thought about the early cross, but he goes back to Christie instead. Christie's ball in is blocked off. Haaland tries to get there before Cook, but it's kept alive by Bournemouth. Sabrani played forward, aimed up towards Solanke. He's done well to get in front of Diaz there inside the box. Can he find a layoff? Tavernier wide of the target once again from Tavernier. He didn't have too much option but to take that one early. Dom Solanke, for the first time in the game, getting there in front of Ruben Diaz, and he just held it up, waited for the run of Tavernier on the edge of the box. Wasn't really able to get smooth contact on that one. It's another chance for Bournemouth. Akanji again with the long ball up to Haaland, but he's held up by Senesi. Bounces kindly there for Nunez. He'll find Kovacic, and City can advance here if they need. Nunez now breaking down the left. He tries to swing that one into the box in the direction of Phil Foden, but it'll be a goal kick to Bournemouth. City just looking a little tense now. They've got the advantage. They've got the capability to go on and secure all 3 points. Bournemouth are enjoying the better at the second period as we tick on towards the hour mark here on Flash Score UK. As it stands, Bournemouth 0, Manchester City 1. Phil Foden with the first half goal for City. The title not quite on the line for Pep Guardiola, but certainly on the agenda. Can close the gap to 1 point behind Liverpool if it stays as it is. It looks as if Jeremy Doku is being prepared by Pep Guardiola. Belgian international can be devastating in one-on-ones, and it'll certainly be something for Bournemouth to deal with it when he comes on. 5 Premier League assists for him so far this season. City pour forward again now. That's a really important header inside the box from Adam Smith. Tavernier completes the clearance. Solanke just couldn't quite get there before Akanji, and Man City will retake control. Here's Ruben Diaz. Rolls that one down the left-hand side to Matheus Nunes. The sensation is that it will be Nunes will be withdrawn for Doku. He's played in that kind of hybrid left-hand side midfield role so far this evening, with plenty of chopping and changing from Pep Guardiola in his Manchester City midfield. That ball's charged down. Diaz tried to clear it away, but Solanke will get there first. Akanji helps him out. Survived on scraps so far tonight, Dominic Solanke. He's not really looked close to adding to his 14 Premier League goals. As Phil Foden tries to pounce on an error at the back by Bournemouth, Kirkez will get in position and win a goal kick from Bernardo Silva. The eye-catching statistic for Dominic Solanke is his lack of goals against the top teams this season. He's not scored against Liverpool or Arsenal, and as it stands, he's yet to fire against Manchester City. And it is Nunes who'll be replaced by Jeremy Doku. 64 minutes on the clock here. Imagine that will be a like-for-like replacement. Doku go onto the left-hand side for Manchester City. Dribble king, Doku. He was on target in the 6-1 win for Manchester City over Bournemouth back in November. He got the ball rolling that day. Bernardo Silva with 2. Akanji, Phil Foden and Nathan Ake joining the party. I think we can safely say it won't be such a big scoreline tonight. Neto with the goal kick, won by Stones. Lovely touch there from Phil Foden to gather it in, and tried the little back heel, but Zabrani will cut it out. Andoni Iraola deep in conversation with his own coaching team. I imagine changes will be afoot. He wants to get the timing right. Header flicked on there by Semenyo. It's given away in midfield by Tavernier. Here's Haaland onto Foden. Tricks his way past a couple of tackles. Here is Doku. Immediately forced in field to Rodri. Switch it across to Ruben Diaz. We'll have team news from Arsenal against Newcastle in just a few minutes. 8 o'clock kickoff at the Emirates Stadium. You can check out full audio coverage of that once the final whistle blows here. There's Tavernier trying to feed that one in field to Kirkez, but it's cut out by Rodri. Kovacic bounces away from a tackle there to get City moving. Foden fires it over to the left-hand side. Now Doku will get a chance to run at Smith. Doku on into the box, checks inside. He's tracked there and held up by Tavernier. Eventually poked behind for a corner by Smith. It's an immediate warning of what Jeremy Doku can do. Brilliant first touch from him from that pass from Phil Foden. Knew exactly what he wanted to do. Pin Smith back inside the box. He wins a corner for his team. It'll be Foden who'll jog over to take this one from the City left in front of the travelling Blues fans. Just to deliver that one to the far post, headed away by Semenyo. City will keep it alive in the second phase. Kovacic back over to the left now to Doku. He's got Foden in support, but he goes infield to Rodri. Hang that one into the box. There's a bit of pushing and shoving over on the far post, but Diaz tried to recycle it. He's claiming a handball there, Ruben Diaz. Referee not interested. Sure, there'll be plenty of interested Arsenal fans who'll be keeping up to date with this one before their own game this evening. Just seeing the replay of that claim against Semenyo from Diaz. I don't think there was much that Antoine Semenyo could do about it. He was falling in a tangle with Diaz, and any handball was accidental. Here's Christie. Gets away from Rodri. Rodri was tugging at him there, but the referee waves play on. Over to the right now to Semenyo. Smith on the overlap from Semenyo. Smith into the box, blocked off by Ake. Great charge forward there from Smith. We've seen the damage that Semenyo can do down the Bournemouth right. And he linked up with his fullback there. Credit to Ake, got across, made the block. Bournemouth have a corner. 23 minutes to go here of normal time. Tavernier to come over and take the set piece left-footed. Goes to the far post this time. It's headed back in, a save by Edison, and eventually cleared away by Bournemouth. Solanke with the header, and it was a point-blank stop from Edison. Bournemouth will come again. Just loses a bit of momentum there, and it's cleared away for a throw-in. And that was a very sharp piece of goalkeeping from Edison. Great climb at the far post by Solanke. Edison was behind his line when he fisted that one away. Mismatch at the far post there as Nathan Ake got drawn towards the board, and it was Solanke up against Bernardo Silva. Did his best to steer it back on target. And that is the first chance of the night for Bournemouth's main man. We are going to see some changes now from Iraola. Dango Ouattara and Alex Scott incoming. Justin Kluivert as one of the players replaced, and Tavernier is the other. Might see a little reshuffle of the Bournemouth front four on the back of that. Solanke will remain as the sole striker. I assume Ouattara will go to the left-hand side with Alex Scott in Kluivert's number 10 role. Ryan Christie's also been pushed up a little bit higher by Iraola. Just seeing an image of Jack Grealish on the Manchester City bench. It's not expected that we'll see him this evening. Pep Guardiola made a late call to include him in the matchday squad. He's been struggling with a muscle problem in recent weeks. Here's Neto. Just to get Ouattara involved immediately, but he loses that one to Akanji. Fed on towards Solanke. Solanke will get there before Diaz. Chance here for Solanke on the edge of the box, blocked off. Solid bit of defending there from Ruben Diaz. Bournemouth are beginning to turn the screw. Can they find a way to convert a chance into a goal? Here's Scott. A pass around the corner to find Semenyo. Again, Semenyo infield. He's been too hot to handle for City so far. Christie finds Kirkes. Semenyo again. Over to Ouattara now on the Bournemouth left. Ouattara blocked off. Diaz again for City. It's been all Bournemouth in the last 10 minutes. And Andone Iraola on the edge of his technical area, roaring his players on. He senses there's an opportunity here. As Haaland looks to get back and do a bit of defensive work, but he's pulled down by Marcos Senesi. really have too much option there. Senesi. Haaland had nicked possession away from him and he was looking to power up inside his own half. Sinistera, of course, is an option off the bench for Bournemouth if Iraola looks to bring him in. Here comes Foden on into the Bournemouth box. He's held up though, squares it back to the edge of the area to Kovacic. He flashes that one wide of the post. And we can give you that team news from the Emirates Stadium. Kickoff just under an hour away. We're just waiting on full confirmation. City did win a corner in that instance. Foden's effort, or rather Kovacic's effort from Foden's pass, took a nick off a Bournemouth player. I'll give you those lineups in just a moment. We've got a corner for Manchester City on the left hand side. Foden to take. Doku offers him the short, but Foden hangs that one into the far post, headed down and gathered in by Neto. Bournemouth back in possession. It's given away in midfield. John Stones will look to get City moving again. Played down the right hand side now for City. It's Stones this time looking to win a corner, and he does so off Senesi. Corner will be Phil Foden to take over on the right hand side. Whip this one in left footed. Goes into the middle of the box this time. Neto with the punch. Scott will hammer that one downfield for Bournemouth. The Arsenal team just one change from the midweek Champions League defeat away at Porto. Jorginho comes into midfield. Leandro Trossard drops to the bench with Kai Havertz moved into attack. So the team in full: David Raya, Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel, Jacob Kiwior, Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, Jorginho, Kai Havertz, Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli. Gabriel Jesus is on the bench for Arsenal. He's missed the last 4 games through injury. As for Newcastle, 3 changes from the team that drew 2-2 against Bournemouth last time out. Loris Karius comes in for Martin Dubravka in goal. Tino Livramento replaces Dan Burn at left back, with Alexander Isak starting in attack over Harvey Barnes. So Loris Karius, Kieran Trippier, Fabian Schär, Sven Botman, Tino Livramento, Sean Longstaff, Bruno Guimaraes, Lewis Miley, Anthony Gordon, Miguel Almiron and Alexander Isak. Kick-off in that one is about 50 minutes away. City back in possession here now. Just over 15 minutes of normal time remaining at the Vitality Stadium. Phil Foden's first half goal still the difference between Bournemouth and Manchester City. A 1-0 advantage for Pep Guardiola's team. And as it stands, a 1-point gap behind the Premier League leaders Liverpool. Foden. Lovely balance there to dart away from Christie. Now Stones. City have survived a strong spell of Bournemouth pressure in the last 10 minutes or so. They're looking to get themselves back into this. Doku's forced backwards by Smith. Now Kovacic looking to creep in field from the left hand side. Finds Haaland. Lay off from Haaland, and Haaland's back in here. Has he taken it too far? Haaland! That's a big save from Neto. It looked for a moment there as if Haaland was going to go to ground. Just seemed to maybe take the opportunity just a step too wide to the left hand side. Kirkes with a sliding effort. It was a good challenge. Haaland just couldn't quite get his feet sorted right, and Neto gets a strong arm across and makes the save. It's the second good chance that Erling Haaland has missed this evening. Saiter in the first half. Just didn't look at his clinical best there. is going to be a change here from Pep Guardiola, and it is Haaland who's withdrawn. Julian Alvarez on. Now, that is not something you see very often. Erling Haaland substituted for Manchester City, but an incredibly busy schedule on the horizon for Pep Guardiola. Luton away in the FA Cup in midweek, the Manchester derby next weekend, Copenhagen in the Champions League, and then a trip to Liverpool on the 10th of March. Bournemouth, we must also mention, are in FA Cup action themselves. They're at home to Premier League promotion chasing Leicester City. Throw in for Bournemouth here, deep inside the Man City half. Scott eventually finds its way back to Zabrani. Now Senesi tried to feed that one into Christie in midfield, but it was poorly placed, and John Stones will try and spring the trap for Alvarez in behind, but it's too long for the Argentinian. Interested to gauge Andoni Iraola's mood after this one, even if it does end in defeat. Some very important league games coming up. They play all three sides in the bottom three after that Leicester FA Cup game, away at Burnley on the 3rd of March, and then back-to-back home games against Sheffield United and Luton Town. Positive results in those games, you would imagine, will put Bournemouth on course for Premier League survival, which is the key objective for Iraola, of course. 39 points was enough to keep them in the division last season, and they ended 15th. Here's Doku, hassled there by Smith. Good defending there by Smith, and he's burst onto the loose ball here, Smith, and he's away from Doku. Doku trying to get back and make the challenge. Referee waves play on after a tangle on the edge of the box. Solanke will keep it alive for Bournemouth. Now Semenyo, he's crowded out by City players. Kovacic eventually gets it away. He's caught by Semenyo. Bournemouth players not happy with either decision there. They felt it was a foul by Doku on Smith, and that Semenyo was harshly adjudged up against Kovacic. Might have had a case there against Smith. Doku was racing back to try and win possession. We are going to see another Bournemouth change in just a moment. Referee waiting for a break in play. Kovacic's challenged there by Cook. He did brilliantly, Kovacic, to keep it alive, and he's caught by Christie. Game's become pretty scrappy in the last few moments. Kovacic at the heart of that for Man City. Pep Guardiola knows that beautiful football doesn't always win the title. You need to be able to mix it up, play the percentages. Spanish boss having a little chat with Simon Hooper on the sidelines, the fourth official this evening. As Edison clears that one downfield for City, headed back by Smith, helped on by Semenyo. Ake's got to get there before Scott, and he does just that. Good defending there from Ake, but Lewis Cook sliding across just keeps it in Manchester City territory. It'll be a throw into City. Here comes that change for Bournemouth. It's Marco Senesi withdrawn. Roman Favre is on. Attacking player for a defender. Andoni Iraola knows the time is now to roll the dice. We'll see Bournemouth move to a back three now. Kirkes will tuck in with Smith. Semenyo and Altare in the wing-back roles. Here is Zabrani. Plays that one into midfield, and it's nudged on to Solanke. Now Christie, who does well there. It's a nice ball into the box too. It's a nice ball and a nice cross from Semenyo, but City back in numbers to clear. Again, it's Semenyo causing the problems for Bournemouth. Smith will chase back with Doku there. 10 minutes to go. Bournemouth 0, Manchester City 1. Phil Foden, as it stands, securing 3 points for the champions on the South Coast. It's been Bournemouth that have had the better of the second period. Big chance missed for Erling Haaland before his substitution. Marcus Tavernier and Dominic Solanke very, very close for the Cherries. Here's Kovacic. Stones. Swept over to the right hand side now to Manuel Akanji. Here's Julian Alvarez. First touch of the ball for him since he's come on for Haaland. Spread over to the left hand side for City now for Doku, and he'll get a chance to go at Smith inside the box. Doku infield, Doku with the blast, blocked behind by Scott. Corner to Manchester City. I don't think Pep Guardiola will push too hard for the second goal. 1-0 win against Brentford was enough in midweek. As it stands, that will be enough to up the title pressure on Liverpool. Alvarez with the corner, punched away by Neto. Finds its way back to Alvarez down this City left. Doku curls it in, headed away by Bournemouth. Bernardo Silva will pick it up over on the Manchester City right hand side. Here's Phil Foden. Good defending there by Alex Scott to get back in and help out. Semenyo tried to get the run on Ake, but he's frustrated this time. Clock ticks on. 7 minutes of normal time remaining. Kirkes with the ball down the left foot. Bournemouth. Diaz wins that one ahead of Solanke, but Ouattara will gamble on the loose ball, try and get Bournemouth advanced down that left hand side. Gets away from Akanji, blocked off by Akanji. Caught throw in to Bournemouth. Ouattara takes that one quickly. Comes Bournemouth again, but Akanji with the block tackle. Manchester City just looking to keep Bournemouth at arm's length here as Alvarez tries to get on that return ball from Foden, but Bournemouth win it back. Here's Cook. Nice ball in behind to Ouattara. Bournemouth have a chance here. Ouattara and the cross in to Semenyo. Far too powerful from Ouattara. That was the opportunity. Brilliant ball from Cook to spot the space. Ouattara possibly could have been flagged offside if that was pulled back by VAR, but he had the chance to square it across for Semenyo, and it's wasted by Bournemouth. Little muscle flex here by Pep Guardiola for the final 5 minutes or so. Kevin De Bruyne for Mateo Kovacic. Belgian international, able to offer plenty of experience to the champions as they look to get this one over the line. The throw in for City. Just over 5 minutes of the regular 90 to play. Ake just delaying over this one, and referee gives him a little telling off. Bournemouth immediately win it back. Here's Cook. Spreads that one across the halfway line to Zabrani. He gets away from Alvarez. Pass forward cut out though by Phil Foden. Good work there by Foden. He's brilliantly tangles there with Ouattara. Ouattara trying to make amends for his poor cross just a moment ago, and here is Ouattara again. Thought about the whipped ball into the box, but he just steps inside instead. Can he get his way past the Akanji? He can. Ouattara fizzes that one past Ederson's post. He seemed determined to get a shot off there. Dango Ouattara. Akanji couldn't hold him up. Driven across the face of goal. Ederson was slow to get down to it, but it was always just arching wide of the far post. Manchester City need to box clever in these final few moments. Bournemouth will give it everything. Nothing to lose for Andoni Iraola's side. Still without a Premier League win in 2024. But a point tonight would be a huge boost for them and a potential twist in the Premier League title race. Here's Foden, Rodri. Nice flicked ball into the feet of Kevin De Bruyne. Now Julian Alvarez over on the Man City right. Just looking to edge City forward and keep them in possession in Bournemouth territory. De Bruyne, Rodri. De Bruyne was caught off the ball there, and that's a very silly challenge and a free kick given away. It's Christie who caught De Bruyne there. An unnecessary tackle from the Scotland international. De Bruyne was just looking for a quick layoff. It'll be De Bruyne to take this one, you'd imagine. We're on the right hand side for City. Perfect crossing position for De Bruyne. So no rush, of course. City not committing too many players forward for this one. Kanji and Silva in position to race back if needed, and Neto will just punch that one away, but Doku will keep it alive for City down the left. Tried the big dummy to get away from Semenyo, but Semenyo didn't buy it, and Bournemouth are away here now. Semenyo's caught there by Bernardo Silva. Booking for Silva. No chance he was winning that race with Semenyo. Brings him down. Stops Bournemouth from advancing. The clock keeps ticking. More changes on the way for Bournemouth. 88 minutes on the clock. And Andoni Iraola is going for broke. Enes Unal is on. Ryan Christie's off. Luis Sinisterra is on for Milos Kirkos. We might have a third change as well. Unai and Sinisterra on. Christian Kirkos off. Possible third change has been delayed for now. Here's Neto with the free kick. Goes long up towards Utara. It's won by Utara, the last touch. Came off for Kanji. Sinisterra trying to race in behind there. That's Lewis Cook back on the halfway line for Bournemouth. Scott. It's a nice switched ball over to the right hand side to Semenyo. He's away now if he can find a ball into the box, but Ake gets back with him. Ake looking to just shepherd him outside the Manchester City 18-yard area. Semenyo keeps it going. Can he find a ball into the box? Doku is back there helping out, and Doku wins the challenge. Doku does well to get away from Smith there. Brilliant stuff from Jeremy Doku to ease the pressure for City. He finds De Bruyne. Bounces out for a throw-in eventually. Fantastic recovery there from Jeremy Doku. Showing that he's not just an attacking star in Pep Guardiola's lineup. Semenyo just couldn't make his mind up over what to do. Pressure from Doku eventually puts Man City back in possession. Here is Doku again. Ake gives it away. Picked up in midfield for Bournemouth. Can they build something as we move towards added time? Here's Cook. Effectively dropped in as a auxiliary centre-back now, Lewis Cook. So many attacking players on the field for Bournemouth as they try to find an equaliser. Cook will drive that one forward. Good defensive header there from John Stones. Anywhere will do from Bernardo Silva. That ball into Solanke, well gathered in by Solanke, but he's surrounded by City players. De Bruyne will pick it up inside the centre circle. Now Rodri. Played on to Phil Foden, on into the Bournemouth box. Alvarez just slipped there as the ball fell for him, and Bournemouth can get it away. Great little turn there on halfway by Solanke. Bournemouth have got numbers up here if they can capitalise. Semenyo down the right hand side, he's got Smith on the overlap, but he goes it alone with the cross, hangs it in, and it is just past the post from Enes Ünal. Towering header from the substitute. Great ball in from Semenyo. Enes Ünal got in the space in behind. Ruben Diaz headed it down, and that is just past Ederson's post. Bournemouth fans might be forgiven for thinking if only that was Dominic Solanke, but Enes Ünal did brilliantly to get up off the ground, and the header was inches away from creeping in. Yet to score a Premier League goal, Enes Ünal. He was so close there. Here come Bournemouth again, and it is Ünal on into the box to Sinisterra. Just trod on that one. It's eventually kicked away by City. Semenyo will pick it up on the right. City back defending now, right along the edge of their own 18-yard box. Lewis Cook has been a real steady influence for Bournemouth this evening. Started out in midfield, ended up in defence. Zabrani steers that one over to the left-hand side to Dango Ouattara, but it's a poor layoff to Sinisterra, and Rodri will pick it up. Now De Bruyne. He's got Doku racing away to the left-hand side if he wants him. Alvarez on the right. Goes for Alvarez. Foden backs up. Now Doku. Bournemouth have got players back. It's a good challenge from Smith. Had to time that one right inside the box to prevent Doku from skipping away. Now Bernardo Silva. This is where Manchester City want the ball. Just outside the Bournemouth box. Silva again down the Manchester City left this time. Doku. 2 minutes of the additional 6 played. Silva just pirouettes away there and tries to protect it, and he'll win a free kick for City. Little argument there with Adam Smith on the floor. Bernardo Silva, who is already on a booking this evening. Adam Smith just pleading his innocence to the referee there. He knows Bernardo Silva is trying to buy time. De Bruyne who'll come over to the City left to take this one. City will go short and try and tick down the clock. There's Doku. He'll take that one into the corner for City. Smith will come over and try and put the pressure on, but Doku darts by him. Fizzes one into the box, but Bournemouth will pick it up. Neto goes long again. Another really important header there from John Stones, but it's picked up in midfield by Bournemouth. Solanke will be the link man. On to Sinisterra, into the box. Cleared away by Rodri. Throw into Bournemouth over on that left-hand side. Ouattara looks to get things going quickly, but there's an injury here which the referee has pulled back to. John Stones is down. He hurt himself going for that header. A really important bit of defending from the England international, but he's come off with a knock. This will, you'd imagine, add a few more seconds onto things. 4 minutes of the extra 6 have been played. It's going to be Dango Ouattara with the long throw from the left for Bournemouth. To hurl this one into the 18-yard box. Helped on. Flicked on by Silva. Solanke with the bicycle kick. It's well wide of Ederson's post. We saw the headlines there. Dominic Solanke, he was wrestling away with John Stones. Never really got a good connection on that one. Ederson happy to wave that one past the post. again, Bournemouth win back possession in midfield. Edison's goal kick was aimed at Alvarez, but it's Bournemouth who come out from top. Silva's busy there to win back possession. He wins the free kick as well, Bernardo Silva. More precious time ebbing away for Bournemouth now. As it stands, it'll be Phil Foden's goal that wins it for City. Ninth Premier League goal of the campaign for Foden. It's developed into such a crucial part of Pep Guardiola's plans. Booking in all of that for Kevin De Bruyne as well. The referee was unhappy at something that he said. Bournemouth have a throw-in. Altara kicks that one long into the City half. Held up by Unal. Good play there from Unal to keep that one for Bournemouth as we move beyond the 6 added minutes. It's all on referee Jared Gillet to extend this one now. It's cut out there on the edge of the box by Bernardo Silva. De Bruyne hassled by Smith. City to play their way out. Ake clears that one downfield. Cook steps away from Julian Alvarez. Ball forward has caught 2 Bournemouth players offside. You imagine that could be that. Bournemouth players will look to hopefully go on for a little bit longer. They're crying out for a foul there on Alex Scott on Rodri, but referee waves play on. Phil Foden on the charge here. He's got De Bruyne on the left if he can find him. Chance for De Bruyne to seal it here. Caught in 2 minds, Kevin De Bruyne, as Alex Scott got back to frustrate him. Cleared downfield. Bernardo Silva, again so busy in the midfield, picks that one up. Scott slides in, wins it for Bournemouth. Throw in for Manchester City. And seconds remaining. And that is the full-time whistle blown here at the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth gave it everything in the closing stages, but it's the defending champions that extend their unbeaten run to 17 games in all competitions. Phil Foden with the winner for Manchester City. And the title gap is closed to a single point at full time. All over here at the Vitality Stadium on Flash Score UK. Full time, Bournemouth 0, Manchester City 1.